Talking of superstars, let's say hello to one of the biggest on the planet, a big Man City fan, of course, rock and roll genius. Noel Gallagher joins us live on Drive. Hello, Noel, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right after that introduction anyway. Thanks very much.
Well, I just read your text. Make sure you read this out.
Did my people send you that? Good.
If only I had people. How are you, Noel? Where are you in the world at the moment? You on tour? You stop? What are you doing?
No, I've got a few weeks off. I'm out in Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Nice. What, your humble abode, or you just...
Yeah, slumming it, mate.
Have you still got that house with the octagon?
No, no, I sold that one. I sold that one to buy this one.
Oh, okay, right. Right, listen, we've got lots to talk to you about. We'll start off, of course, with this game at the weekend. Are you nervous about it? Is it a test for Man City? No Rodri, of course, which is a massive loss for you guys.
Yeah. First things first, am I nervous? No, because it's still relatively early in the season. So whoever wins, if anybody wins, it doesn't really decide anything. But of course, you want to be taking points off your nearest rival at home, and I agree. Rodri is a big miss for us. I mean, I think we'll be able to cope without him, but he kind of knits it all together for us. But we'll have to see what Team Arsenal put out, and then we'll see how it goes. But nerves? No, we just won the treble, mate.
Can I ask you, actually, talking of the treble, someone mentioned it the other day on our show, that it sort of went a bit unnoticed, Man City doing the treble, right? And it pains me to say, obviously being a United fan, and we did it before you, but I do genuinely feel that when United did it, we didn't stop talking about it, and Man City have done it, and it's sort of, the end of the season came and went, you won the Champions League, and the new season started, and no one's really mentioned it since.
Well, I think it had never been done before when United did it, and that we didn't live in the social media age then, so it was different. I guess maybe people would have expected City to have maybe not done the treble, but to have won the Champions League already. But who cares if the rest of the world ain't talking about it? No one at City cares, I can assure you of that.
No, what have you made of Manchester City's start to the season?
Better than expected. I mean, after winning that, I was saying to somebody, well, at the start of the season, I'm not sure I care less if City ever win another football match. After we've lived through that went out the door after about half an hour. I think it's been better than expected, considering De Bruyne got injured badly. John Stones has been badly injured, losing Gundogan and Mara, and everything that surrounded that. I think it's been, actually now I'm saying it, I think it's been an amazing start. New players bedding in. Doku looks like he's been there for a while. Kovacic looks like he's played for us for years. So all in all, I mean, we're top of the league. I mean, it was a bit of a shock last week when we got bit, but all in all, it's been really, really good.
Talking about that shock defeat, I think it's to Wolves, wasn't it? Gary O'Neill's Wolves last week. We were talking on the show, and I genuinely thought you had a massive chance of going the whole season unbeaten. And if you weren't gonna do that, I thought maybe towards the end of it, if you're still in other big competitions, FA Cup, Champions League, etc., that maybe you wouldn't. I was really surprised that you lost so early on in the season. Did you, for a moment, think you could go the season and copy the Invincibles or not?
I was saying to a mate of mine who'd be listening to this now. We were just before the Wolves game. We're saying, mate, what are the odds on City doing an Invincible season? And he was like, and he's a Cockney, right, Chelsea fan, and he was going. He checked the odds, and on the day of the match, he was dead pleased because he got City at 18-1, but it had already gone down overnight or something. And then, of course, we kept beating. That cost him £100. But once you've climbed the mountain, it's difficult to gauge what your expectations are for the coming season. But could this version of Man City do an invincible season? Of course, but then it's only been done once, and it's such a difficult thing to do, particularly in this era. But I was shocked they got beat by Wolves. I mean, I didn't go to the match, but I was listening to it on the radio, and they had. They were 1-0 up and they hadn't had a shot on target. It was one of those days.
Yeah.
We get them 2 or 3 times a season. Brentford done the double overs last season, or Palace would always beat us at home. There'd be we get 2 or 3 of these. So it's not. It is a shock, but it's not wholly unsurprising, if that makes any sense.
No, I want to talk to you about Phil Foden, because he's someone obviously we all rate special talent. A lot of people have spoken about this season now. He needs to start nailing down a spot in Pep's team every single week. What are your thoughts towards him, and certainly getting in this Manchester City team week in, week out?
Well, if I was Phil and I was thinking to myself, I need to nail down a spot in this team, I'd be telling him to get that out of his head, because nobody nails down the slot in that team apart from Edison. And Pep knows he can play 3 or 4 positions, and he'll forever be that guy as long as Guardiola's there. Nobody knows what Phil's best position is because he's pretty good in them all. So now, Pep's got big headaches coming up, because when De Bruyne comes back and John Stones comes back, Alvarez is he can't drop Alvarez.
Wow. I was going to ask you about him.
Well, he can't drop in. He's not going to drop Haaland. So he's got some nice headaches coming up, and I think in an overall view of the season of where we're going, I think if we are there or thereabouts come January, February with everybody back, it's going to be another good season for us. But Phil, this is not Phil Foden FC, and this has been since he broke through to the team. You hear it every time. He's got to do this and he's got to do that and he's got to play and he's got to play there. He's playing in a Guardiola team week in, week out. If he plays on the left or the right or the middle, centre forward, false nine, whatever, it doesn't matter. He's won everything. He's a really important player, but no one's going to nail down a position in that team. No one. Haaland, Edison, maybe. That's it.
Rodri,
yeah. I mean, if we could get a decent replacement for Phillips, I reckon he'd rotate him more. But Calvin really, he doesn't look like he's going to make it with us. So I think he should move on.
Yeah. Is there a part of you that's slightly upset that you didn't do well in the League Cup? Because we were talking about how far you could go unbeaten. Obviously, the quadruple will be the next box to tick after the treble. Was there a part of you that was maybe a bit sad that you got knocked out of that or not?
Don't really like losing to Newcastle, because they're about to become as annoying as Liverpool fans. But if we'd have gone all the way in the Carabao Cup, we've got the World Club Cup coming up, and
right.
we would have had. There's a week where one of them clashes. We'd have had to play the kids in one of the. We were never going to win. We were never going to win both. Yeah. So to bow out now, of course, Pep would have been gutted, But to bow out now, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you mentioned Liverpool there. You must have been really upset about what happened to Liverpool after last weekend's VAR calamity against Spurs.
Honestly, you'll never know, because I work with a lot of Scousers, and they are, to get the game. I mean, look, no one's going to replay the game, because you're opening a can of worms there, which should never be able to close, because every manager is then going to weaponise that, and if there's an apology from Howard Webb or whatever, they're all going to want games replayed. All I will say is, this guy, Howard Webb, since he's been brought in to sort this out, it's been nothing short of an absolute disaster. Nobody wants it, VAR. It kills the vibe in the ground. It's dreadful. They can't even get it right. For the life of me, I cannot understand why they don't use the same system as they use in the Champions League, which seems to be really, really quick.
They voted against it, no.
Well, I know, but I can't understand why they would do that. It seems to be really definitive, and it seems to be more the fan-friendly. There's none of this lines rubbish. I'd imagine the system that we've got now here will get thrown out this season, and next season they'll have to do something about it.
But it's that incident at the lane, that wasn't down to VAR. That was human error, right?
Yeah, but still, what about the 60,000 people who are in the ground who are kind of, if football is not about the fans, it's not about anything, right? And we've all been to football matches, and you get incidents pulled back, and you're going for a check, and there's a groan in the ground. It's like, human error is what makes football what it is. It's why we argue about everything for 25 years. You argue about it, you never let stuff go. And the VAR thing, the only good thing about it was against Liverpool. So, whatever.
No, we've been talking about, obviously, the Beckham documentary has just come out. I don't know if you've watched any of it, but we were talking about prime David Beckham and how good he is. And Andy believes that a prime David Beckham is better than a prime Kevin De Bruyne. And I believe he's not.
You're going to misquote me.
What are your thoughts on that? What do you say, though?
Such an unfair...
What did you say, though?
Just let no answer. I don't want to interrupt you.
Who did you say was better?
I don't want to talk over Noel Gallagher. I really don't.
De Bruyne. Because as good as Beckham was, De Bruyne, I'm obviously slightly biased, but you're not biased, Darren. So he's the one player I've seen in my lifetime where he will make a pass and you have to wait till you get home if you've been at the match to see it, because you don't know how it's been. I mean, you don't know how he's done it. Beck's. He was never that guy that would take out 6 defenders with a pass. He was the best crosser of a ball we'd ever seen at that point. I'm going to say De Bruyne, obviously.
Have you seen the doc? No, have you seen it?
No, what a documentary about a Man United player? I'm not sure.
Was a Real Madrid player as well.
Real Madrid as well. They're worse than Man United and PSG, all of them.
Do you put David Beckham in the world class category?
Well, it depends how many people are in it, doesn't it? These things are a bit mad anyway. But
okay. Let's simplify. Is Kevin De Bruyne world class?
Yes,
for sure.
Okay, so is
Kevin De Bruyne has only got to do one more thing in his career, and that he has got to get to another Champions League final and dominate it. That's all. It's for everybody in the world. That's all that's missing. He's been to 2 Champions League finals now. He's had to come off in both of them. And for him to be a Ballon d'Or winner, he would have to get to a Champions League final this year and absolutely destroy it. And it is more than possible, and it would cap things off for him. The two of you know as well as I do, that guy can do things that no one else can do with the football at pace, under pressure, in the big games.
Okay. Before I let you go, can you commit to a score on what's going to happen in this massive game, Arsenal against Man City on Sunday? What's going to happen now?
Well, I think it all depends on the Arsenal team sheet, because if Saka and Martinelli and Partey are out, then it doesn't look good for Arsenal. If all of those 3 start, then it doesn't look good for us. But let's just say, do you know what? I'll take a draw now.
Would you really?
I'd take a draw and get out of it. Without Rodri, I'd take a draw for sure. Yeah.
Listen, go on.
I think if we score first, we win.
Okay. Bentley was giving it. He won't do it now because you're here, but Bentley was giving it a large slag.
No, I wasn't actually. What I was going to ask Noel actually is, does he have any sympathy for Manchester United fans?
Why would you ask him that?
Because he's from obviously Manchester, close-knit group. Because obviously they've been awful. So I wonder if you had any sympathy for them.
But they've been awful. They've been awful for about 5 years.
Oh no, but they're really awful at the minute.
I know, and it's a beautiful thing.
Are we really going to end on this? Are we?
Yeah. Why not? Erik Two Bob, whatever his name is. All those. They're a shambles, and long may it continue. And up the Glazers.
Terrible.
And
how's Liam?
I have no idea. He's probably at home looking in the mirror at himself.
Come on, what will the score be? You think if you score first, you'll win it. If you don't, you'll take the draw, yeah?
I don't think. I mean, there's going to be goals in the game for sure. I personally think it'll be a score draw. But if City were to win it, it's going to be tight. I think 2-1 City or. Okay.
Can I just ask, if Arsenal don't win anything this season, and bearing in mind Arteta's been there, I think 4 years.
How have you gone to Arsenal, Arteta?
Right. And he spent nearly £500 million. Is that a failure? He's won 1 FA Cup.
I don't think they'll get rid of him because he's kind of brought Arsenal back, if you know what I mean. I don't see who's out there that would come in and take that and do a better job than him in the style of football they're playing. But is it a failure? It depends what his brief was. I suppose in terms of trophies and in terms of money spent, it is. But, are you expecting Arsenal to win the Champions League?
Benny is, yeah.
No, listen.
Don't come and say what you said to me.
I give him a great chance of winning it. But I give him a great chance. But I said the only team they need to avoid is Manchester City.
Yeah, but you said they've got a great chance of winning it.
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
What, even after the other night?
Yeah. Even after, 100%.
They can't stand the injuries though.
That's it.
the thing.
Listen, we need a bit of luck. It's a cop. We need a bit of luck.
Are you saying Kai Havertz can't step up, Noel?
Why are you bringing him into the quick?
I mean, bless Havertz. He scored in the Champions League final against us, so we don't like him. But why they bought him is beyond anyone at Arsenal. I mean, I just don't know what he does. What does he do? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It makes me laugh when I watch him.
Why are you laughing? You get no stick to laugh. You.
60 million. Imagine the octagon you could buy with 60 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. You could buy him and still have 20 million left to buy Harry Maguire, couldn't you?
Oh, wow.
You're laughing now. You ain't laughing.
I don't know who I want to win this game at the weekend. No, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks.
Cheers, Noel.
See you there.
Soon.
Bye.
There you go. Why'd you get scared when Noel comes on?
Where'd I get scared?
Do you think you can win the Champions League? Last week you were like 100%. Now it's like, if we avoid your team.
No, but I said City.
I'm scared.
I haven't said it to you. If we avoid City,
Why don't you just tell him like it is?
Like you do.
I never want to upset the guests, do I?
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.